we wanted to bring you guys down for the banner presentation for everything that you guys did to help us get it. And you're not the only ones in the building, but we had to come up with a representative group to come down here for the banner presentation, and we could not think of a better group than the people that ate lunch with the visitors, walked them around, and did such a great job and represented Buerkle so well. So we want you guys to enjoy it, which we know that you guys are excited as we are about this, but we're going to start with the banner presentation and also get some pictures as well.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Susie, and I'm with Character Plus, and I'm the state coordinator for CEP that helps identify schools that are models of true integration of character education and mastery level. And you're like, what all does that mean? What the bottom line is, you all are what we're looking for. And I don't know if you saw me kind of smiling before I started talking. I was just kind of soaking in the moment, because when I kind of came in, I noticed on the doorway near the office, it goes, "You are the world's future." And I just kind of stopped and I looked at all of you and I thought, wow, the world has a bright future because of people like you. So soak that in. You are the role models for your school, but you will be incredible role models when you go to the high school. But every single day, you will be a role model for somebody else. It can be a good role model, or it can be a bad role model. But I am so confident you all will continue to be positive role models for each other. Because as you continue to grow up and develop your own character, we hope you continue your leadership role. So someday you may be a teacher, an administrator, superintendent. So no matter what your role is in life, let your character lead your thoughts, your decisions, and your actions, because you'll make a true difference to the world, and that's what we're looking for. So this year, your teachers and your staff and your input as well, you had to put together an incredibly difficult 25-page application. And I don't know if middle school, if you had to write a 25-page English paper or anything yet. Anybody had to do anything that long? Well, imagine having to do a 25-page paper, but then imagine you have so much knowledge and so much strategies and so much going on in your buildings that you have a very difficult time narrowing it down to 25 pages. And that's what your school did here. You have so many strategies, integrations, activities going on in your building that it was difficult for them to narrow it down. The great thing is they really highlighted a lot of wonderful things you're doing. And I'm kind of look at my notes here because there's so many of them. I did go to your webpage and I saw that some students participated in the plunge with Senior Olympics. Anybody brave enough to do that cold thing?
Yeah, they're not.
Well, then applaud them for that. I'm a warm weather person, so when I saw that, I thought, man, that is really caring for other people when you take that plunge to support the Special Olympics. I know that you do proms for seniors in town, and you have your character CIA, is that correct? That leads the character ed lessons. I know that, can you hold this for a sec? Actually,
yes.
Hold that for a second.
Perfect.
As you know, that your school had a site visit, and I'm very fortunate that I get to hear the feedback on all the schools, but I wanted to share just a couple comments that the site visitors said. We were thoroughly impressed with their visit to Margaret Buerkle Middle School. We were warmly welcomed by students and administrators, along with the entire student body arriving to school for a 7:20 start. We saw a comprehensive binder of character ed lessons. Students took pride in their school, their teachers, their peers. We were immediately impressed with the students' service stars. Students were engaged, they were respectful to the teachers and us as guests. We witnessed engaging classes, students' work displayed proudly. They talked at length about the CIA, the Character Ed Committee, the cafeteria windows displaying words of character. Students were able to verbalize the high 5 core value words. Then they talked to parents, and they said they took time away from their day to brag on the school. We noticed specifically their high regard and appreciation For faculty, staff, and administrators in the building, parents are a valued part of the Character Ed journey. They spoke highly about the growth of their own children that the exhibits in starting middle school, and many students stopped us to thank us for coming to tell us goodbye. And in closing, they say, we confidently endorse Margaret Buerkle as Missouri School of Character and consideration for National School of Character. So I could go on and on about all the things that you do in your building, but you live it every day, you know what you do. But for an outsider from just, took a quick brief tour, thank you. Early this morning, the principal loved all the sense of belonging and connections in the school, from the T-shirts that show the different clubs to your service learning stars. But what I also love, we talked about all the clubs, that the school encourages you, no matter what time of year, to get involved and encourage other people to get involved. So as a takeaway for myself, what we want is students to feel connected to their school, to have that sense of pride. And you obviously demonstrate that every single day. And in closing, I just want to say this is so significant because it takes support from the superintendent to give the administrators time to do professional development, to focus on character education. It takes the teachers to plan it, to make it smoothly integrated, to make it engaging for you all. But the bottom line, and not to minimize or discredit what all you do, the administrators, the teachers, but it doesn't really matter for this process unless you all have internalized it. And throughout that whole day of the site visit, the site visitors walked away and said, these students get it. They know the right thing to do when no one else is around, but they're also empowering you to be great, caring citizens, and that's what we want. So in closing, you have significant numbers. I want you to think about this. There are over 3,000 schools in Missouri, and there are only 14 schools that became State School of Character, so you're one of those. But even on a bigger note, your school did so well that you were considered for national consideration. And so CEP narrowed it down to 50 schools in the entire country. So if you think there's over 100,000 schools in the country, and you're one of 50 that is a national finalist, you deserve a round of applause and a pat on the back. So give yourself a round of applause. You guys are in the running for the Stanley Cup or the World Series or whatever connects with you all. But we just want to say thank you for being you, and we know you continue to be incredible people developing your own personal character, making a difference to others. So with that, we'll go ahead and roll out the banner. No drum rolls, anything? All right. So thank you from the top to the teachers, and most importantly, the students. All right, sure. All right. And we'd also like to thank the NFL Rams who generously bought the banner, and will also, part of the awards ceremony in June, your school will be honored at an awards luncheon. But most importantly, we honor you all for making the difference. So thank you.
I don't know if I'm supposed to talk, but I'm going to. Is that okay, Mr. Kern? Interrupt the picture taking. You done? Hey guys, how are you? I'm only using the microphone. You can hear me, but because they want to make sure that it goes into the camera feed. So I've got a few things I want to say to you, and I actually wish the whole student body was here, to tell you the truth, because I think this is such a big deal. And you just heard Ms. Ward talk about the significance of this in the country. But I want to tell you, as your superintendent, what it means to me. And you guys don't have to hold that the whole time I talk if it gets...
I can just get one more picture.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to make you put it back up in a minute because I need to get a picture so I can tweet it out. But I want to talk to you first. All right. Okay, so What does this mean to me? And I want to tell you that this is something that is very near and dear to my heart. As a superintendent of a school district, we have 10 elementary schools, 4 middle schools, 2 high schools, 2 alternative programs, an early childhood program. We have 11,000 students in our school district. I do not want to be the superintendent of a school district of children that don't care about each other. I do not want to be the superintendent of a school district where children who criticize each other, put each other down, get in fights, have heavy discipline issues day in and day out in schools. That's not what I'm interested in. I understand that sometimes that is the environment in some schools, but it's my goal to make sure that we don't have that environment in our school district and in our schools. So Buerkle has achieved a status here that is unlike what a lot of other schools have achieved. And I'm asking you, and again, if the whole student body was here, I'd be asking them, but you can serve as ambassadors for this message, to go out and every day live being a role model to make sure what I'm asking of you is to make sure that when you see examples that are not good character, that you stand up for the right thing, and you make sure that your school district, our school district, your school stays a real shining light in character education, and make sure that that we can always be proud of each other and what we do, and that we just make the school district as great as it can possibly be, because that's when learning occurs. You've got to come to school every day, and you may not want to brag about coming to school every day. I know that. It wouldn't be real cool to say, hey, yeah, I want to be at school. But you've got to have a connection to this school, and you've got to make sure that every other student around you has a connection to this school. So they're proud of Buerkle Middle School. Are you proud of Buerkle Middle School? Yep. Are you proud to be a student of Buerkle Middle School? That has to be infectious. That has to rub off on all the students around you, and the teachers and the staff. They all have to feel that. They have to feel such pride in what a great school it is. And the bottom line is, you will not have a great school if you do not have great character. I truly believe that. So I'm very thankful for your hard work. I ask you all to take that very seriously. Please remember my words. And as your superintendent, do me that favor, do yourself that favor, go out and just spread that good character to everybody around you. Make sure that discipline problems in the building stay at an absolute minimum. You make good choices, you take care of yourself, you take care of people around you, you treat adults with respect, you treat each other with respect, and then be proud of that. Be proud to go home and tell your parents on a daily basis, go home and tell your parents the good character things that happen in your school. Spread the word, make it infectious, get people excited about it, and you will transform a school like you could never imagine. And you're already in that transformation. I can feel it. And that's why you're being recognized like you are, one of only a small number across the country being considered as a national school of character. So be proud of yourself. I thank you for that. Please take it seriously, and please just spread the good character, okay? So, thank you. Good job.